The streets of Brussels, once renowned for their charm and grandeur, are now marred by the chilling specter of violence. Drug-related shootings have become a terrifyingly frequent occurrence, leaving residents living in fear. Just this year alone, 11 separate incidents have left their mark on the city. 2 souls have been lost, their lives cut short by senseless violence. 4 others bear the physical and emotional scars of bullets that tore through their lives. This wave of violence, fueled by the relentless cocaine trade flowing through Antwerp, has gripped the city with an icy hand. The recent surge in shootings is not an isolated phenomenon. Last year the city was shaken by a staggering 89 shootings, leaving 9 dead and countless injured. The most recent incident, a chilling reminder of the city's plight, unfolded in southwest Brussels. The echo of gunshots shattered the fragile peace, sending shockwaves through the community. A month earlier, on February 5th, the city held its breath as shots rang out near the Clemenceau metro station. While this time, by some stroke of luck, no one was injured, the specter of violence loomed large. As Brussels grapples with this escalating crisis, its political landscape remains in a state of paralysis. 9 long months have passed since the June 2024 elections, and the city remains leaderless. The political machinery, designed to serve and protect its citizens, has ground to a halt. The root of this impasse lies in a deep-seated linguistic divide. French-speaking socialists and Flemish nationalists, locked in an ideological battle, have been unable to find common ground. Their inability to bridge this divide has left Brussels adrift, its fate hanging precariously in the balance. This political deadlock has had far-reaching consequences, paralyzing essential services and leaving the city teetering on the brink. Social housing projects, desperately needed to provide shelter for the city's most vulnerable, remain stalled. Infrastructure improvements, crucial for the city's growth and development, have been put on indefinite hold. Subsidies intended to support vital charities, NGOs and cultural institutions have been frozen, leaving them struggling to survive. The political paralysis gripping Brussels has exacerbated an already dire financial situation, pushing the city further into a deepening financial abyss. Saddled with a staggering debt exceeding 14 billion euros, Brussels faces the grim reality of a daily deficit increase of 4 million euros. This financial hemorrhage, if left unchecked, threatens to cripple the city's ability to provide even the most basic services to its citizens. The consequences of inaction are dire. Experts warn that Brussels faces a potential credit rating downgrade by the summer of 2025. Such a downgrade would have catastrophic consequences, making it significantly more expensive for the city to borrow money and further limiting its ability to address its mounting problems. The financial stability of Brussels hangs in the balance, its future uncertain. To understand the depth of Brussels' crisis, one must delve into its complex and often contradictory political structure. As one of Belgium's 3 regions, alongside Wallonia and Flanders, Brussels possesses its own government, adding another layer to an already intricate system. This multi-layered governance, while intended to ensure representation for all, has instead become a source of confusion, frustration, and ultimately, paralysis. At the heart of Brussels' political woes lies a deep-seated linguistic divide. The city is home to both French and Dutch-speaking communities, each with its own distinct identity and political aspirations. This linguistic divide is reflected in the composition of the Brussels government, which requires a majority from both language groups to function effectively. However, this delicate balance has proven impossible to maintain in the current political climate, as mistrust and animosity between the two groups have reached a fever pitch. Section 5. Policing in peril. The surge in violence plaguing Brussels has exposed a critical weakness in the city's ability to protect its citizens, its fragmented and often ineffective police force. With 19 separate municipalities within its borders, Brussels faces the daunting task of coordinating the efforts of 6 different police forces. This lack of cohesion, coupled with chronic underfunding, has severely hampered the city's ability to combat crime effectively. The current system, with its patchwork of jurisdictions and conflicting priorities, has created a breeding ground for inefficiency and confusion. Information sharing between different police forces is often inadequate, hindering their ability to track criminal activity and apprehend suspects. Moreover, the lack of a unified command structure has resulted in a disjointed and uncoordinated response to the escalating violence. Section 6. Desperate measures. Faced with mounting pressure from both citizens and international observers, politicians in Brussels have proposed a number of solutions aimed at addressing the city's escalating crises. These proposals, ranging from merging police forces to implementing drastic pay cuts for elected officials, reflect the growing sense of urgency surrounding the situation. One of the most radical proposals calls for the merging of Brussels' 19 municipal police forces into a single, cohesive unit. Proponents of this plan argue that a unified police force would improve coordination, enhance information sharing, and provide a more effective deterrent to crime. However, this proposal has faced stiff opposition from local politicians, who fear losing control over their local police forces and cite concerns about potential underfunding. Section 7. The threat of federal intervention. As the crisis in Brussels deepens, the possibility of federal government intervention looms large. While such a move would represent an extraordinary intervention in the affairs of a regional government, some argue that it may be the only way to break the political deadlock and prevent the city from sliding further into chaos. Federal intervention could take several forms. One option would be for the federal government to attach strict conditions to any future financial assistance provided to Brussels. This could include demanding specific reforms, such as the merging of police forces or the implementation of austerity measures, in exchange for much-needed funds. Another, more drastic option, would be for the federal government to assume direct control of certain aspects of Brussels' governance, such as its police force or its finances. Section 8. A city on hold. The ongoing crises in Brussels have cast a long shadow over the city, leaving its citizens feeling uncertain and apprehensive about the future. The political paralysis, the escalating violence, and the deepening financial woes have created a pervasive sense of anxiety and frustration. Daily life, once vibrant and full of promise, now feels precarious and uncertain. The lack of a functioning government has brought many essential services to a standstill. Social housing projects, desperately needed to alleviate the city's housing shortage, remain stalled, leaving families in desperate need of affordable housing in limbo. Infrastructure projects, crucial for the city's economic development and the well-being of its citizens, have been put on hold, hindering Brussels' ability to compete on the global stage. Section 9. A call to action. The situation in Brussels is dire, demanding immediate and decisive action. The city stands at a crossroads, its future hanging precariously in the balance. The time for political maneuvering and self-serving agendas has long passed. The citizens of Brussels deserve better. They deserve a government that prioritizes their safety, their well-being, and their future. The path forward is clear. Political leaders must set aside their differences and work together to find common ground. The linguistic divide that has plagued Brussels for far too long must be bridged. Compromise, once seen as a sign of weakness, must become the order of the day. The citizens of Brussels are not asking for miracles. They are asking for their leaders to lead, to govern, and to protect.